The year 1963 saw many momentous events throughout our country and around the world. In the Great Lakes Bay region, citizen leaders, 100 each from Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties, saw a need for a baccalaureate degree institution.
We need a first-rate center of higher education in this area, one which will attract scholars and scientific researchers.
They came together to raise the funds needed to establish private Saginaw Valley College, with a promise that it would become state-supported.
Initially, we had a $1 million pledge from the Wix Foundation. A couple of years later, it was matched by a $1 million pledge from the Herbert H. and Grace A. Dow Foundation, and that left us with $2 million to raise. That was no easy task, and we had a lot of people working in all 3 counties, anywhere we could, to try to identify the source of that funding.
They met their goal, raising $30 million in today's dollars to purchase the land and start what has become Saginaw Valley State University.
What was accomplished on the modest budget was a triumph. The undertaking had moments of breathtaking uncertainty, and the final laurel wreath was not in the grasp of the 3 counties until the last 24 hours of the closing day. The fact that the drive was a success is certainly one of the great victories of the citizens of the Tri-County area.
In the 50 years that have followed, SVSU has become a university of which our region, our state, and our alumni can be proud. The dream of those early visionaries has become reality.
It's a wonderful story, actually, and it's a wonderful story because it's a very human story. This place didn't just spring forth from a bountiful earth or fall from the sky. People made it happen. And it's even a better story because these were our people, local people. These were folks here, people who saw the need for an educational institution that would serve their children and grandchildren of many others that they would never know and from whom they'd never hear. They imagined it and then they brought it to pass.
The confidence of those founders has proven to be well placed. Throughout 5 decades of growth, SVSU has remained true to our mission of providing first-rate instruction to our students.
We have endeavored to provide programs of strength. We have not tried to proliferate in every direction, but to provide programs of quality.
Today, we offer 90 programs of study, and our enrollment now exceeds 10,000 students, which we believe is the right size for the foreseeable future. While student numbers have grown, we have worked hard to maintain the small class sizes that we think are critical for their academic success. From classes first offered at Delta College and the first SVSU building opening in 1966, the face of the university has changed. State-of-the-art classrooms and labs have been built to support our students, particularly in the past quarter century. 70% of today's campus has been constructed since 1990. Our newest academic structure, the Health and Human Services Building, boasts the latest learning equipment for the health professions, so students will be well prepared to care for their future patients. It also uses the largest aquathermal heating and cooling system in Michigan. SVSU takes pride in being good stewards of the resources provided by students, donors, and taxpayers. Our energy use is the lowest of any campus in the state on a square-foot basis. Pioneer Hall, our primary engineering and technology facility, was renovated and expanded in 2007. It includes everything from a foundry to the Carmona Family Racing Lab, where a team of students designs and builds an Indy-style race car to compete against colleges and universities from around the world. SVSU has recorded 4 top 20 finishes since 2002. Residential facilities have been added as well, and they play a critical role in attracting students from across the state and beyond. Today, more than 70% of incoming freshmen elect to live on campus, creating a vibrant student experience.
The thing that I think is true today that was true then is that class sizes were a reasonable size. The instructors were always available to talk and to help, and I think that made a big difference as opposed to a larger university environment. There's a great sense of community here among faculty, staff, and in fact students.
Teaching and learning are at the heart of SVSU. Our faculty are fine scholars, but they come here because they want to make a difference in students' lives.
Prepare students for the real world, to give them the job-relevant skills they need. In the accounting department, I'm very proud of the fact that we all have a student-first philosophy. In any decisions we make, curricular decisions, how you teach classes, who we hire to teach classes, it's always about the students. That's what we care about most.
Faculty work diligently to stay current in their field, so students will be ready for the world that awaits them after they graduate.
As long as I'm here and as long as the people are here that I'm currently working with, the students are going to come first.
Learning extends beyond the classroom. Students are often included on research projects, and many publish articles or present at conferences while still undergraduates. Students appreciate those relationships.
They have that personal connection with you. They get to know you, you get to know them. And that is important. I think that's powerful. And I think that you can go and sit in a classroom at any school and just, take notes, leave, go on your way. But here you actually have the interaction, you get involved, you are a part of something, and I like that.
SVSU students fare well in academic competitions against their peers. In 2011, the Model United Nations team competed against 80 other colleges, including some Ivy League schools, and captured Best Delegation. Students in our moot court, theater, music, and other programs also have achieved national success. Opportunities for our students are limited only by their imaginations. With a cosmopolitan mix of students from big cities and small towns, as well as more than 600 international students, those imaginations can expand every day. Saudi Arabia and China supply the largest numbers, but SVSU students have a good chance to meet and learn from natives of more than 25 other countries.
When I came here, I found out how much connections were important, because back home people don't talk a lot about connections, but here everything is about marketing and connections and meeting new people.
For especially motivated students, SVSU offers a number of unique and challenging programs, many of which include an international component. More than 200 students study abroad each year, including 2013 trips to Ghana, Costa Rica, and India. The new Cardinal Business Edge program provides leadership development for 25 arriving freshmen who meet at orientation and spend 2 years working together as a team and spending time with Great Lakes Bay Region business executives. The Herbert H. and Grace A. Dow Student Research and Creativity Institute gives gifted students an opportunity to pursue projects they are passionate about in any discipline and receive up to $10,000 to support their efforts. Our honors curriculum provides a niche for academically talented students who want an emphasis on critical thinking and problem-solving skills through special courses, research projects, and social activities. SVSU aggressively promotes field-based experiences as well. Students gain valuable real-world insights, and organizations can see talent in action. 60% of students work and learn through co-ops, internships, and field placements. One example is the unique Scribes program, where SVSU pre-med students work directly with emergency room physicians. The program began at Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw and is expanding to Mid-Michigan Medical Center in Midland. Engineering students solve real-world problems, such as this device developed to clean muck from the shoreline of Saginaw Bay. That body of water is a natural laboratory that will receive more focused attention with the 2013 creation of the Saginaw Bay Environmental Science Institute at SVSU.
Geographically, this is our home, and we live in a place that has a really unique resource. We live very close to the Saginaw Bay, and the Saginaw Bay watershed has been an area of interest to us for quite some time. It would be entirely appropriate that our students would be involved in our own region doing this work.
Not everything students do is strictly academic in nature. We have more than 120 registered student organizations, and last year, more than 2,000 students performed volunteer service in Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties. In the 10 years of the Battle of the Valleys fundraising competition, SVSU students have raised $250,000 for regional charities. These close relationships with the region are why one of SVSU's strategic priorities is to pursue classification as a community-engaged university.
Saginaw Valley has a strong history, I think, of giving back to the community. In fact, part of our mission, I think, is to be a resource for the region. And one of the ways that we can do that is by getting our students out in the community and involved.
Throughout the years, SVSU has continued to enjoy the philanthropic support of the region through endowments. The Brown Fellowship supports top faculty in their scholarly activities, and endowed chairs such as the Field Chair in Health Sciences, the Wicks Chair in International Studies, and the Dow Chair in Chemistry combine high-caliber research with classroom instruction and community engagement. Part of our mission is to serve as a cultural and intellectual center for the region. Many top artists, scholars, and musicians are available to the public, often with no admission price. The Stevens Center for Family Business has provided resources and support for the unique needs of family-owned businesses since 1999. Each year, the Gerstacker Fellowship offers a dozen working K-12 educators an opportunity to improve their leadership skills through a demanding year-long program. For those over age 50, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute provides its 1,400 members a variety of ways to stay active, physically, intellectually, and socially. Athletics are an important part of college life as well. More than 500 student athletes compete at the NCAA Division II level. Men's soccer, women's cross country, and softball are among the teams that recently have competed for national championships. In addition to varsity programs, more than 2,000 students participate in intramural sports, and the number of club sports is growing too, including hockey, dodgeball, and lacrosse teams, to name a few. As an organization, SVSU is one of the largest employers in the region, with 800 full-time faculty and staff, and hundreds more who share their professional expertise by teaching a class or two. 85% of SVSU employees reside in the region. As an enterprise, SVSU has an annual budget of $180 million. And while most revenue comes from outside the region, most of it is spent within the region, supporting regional businesses and their employees. In our first half-century, 38,000 alumni have completed degrees. 85% of them remain in Michigan. They, and the graduates to follow, play a vital role in improving our state's fortunes.
But the talent piece is where I see SVSU playing a huge role. And it's not just talent to go to work in some company, but it's talent that wants to be entrepreneurial. You know, we have to invent our way to some extent out of where we are. And we don't want all of our best minds and best ideas to exit Michigan. We want some of them to stay here. So a big part of what we're doing is trying to keep that talent here. And we are, as an organization, very motivated to work with our universities. And we see SVSU being a key player in the Saginaw Valley and frankly, even across the state.
At age 50, the youngest of Michigan's public universities, SVSU combines the expansive opportunities that accompany its maturing size with the personal attention usually found at much smaller institutions. We offer an exceptional college experience at a great value. SVSU began with the support of a broad base of passionate and committed individuals who understood the value of higher education to the Great Lakes Bay region. Those who remember our humble beginnings are proud of the university we have become.
Absolutely. I think this is everything that we had all hoped for. It continues to thrive. It's well managed, has good relationships with Lansing and with the community, with the students and with the faculty. And I think it's absolutely wonderful that it's come this far as well as it has.
No one can predict what the next 50 years will hold. Technological advances are transforming our society and its educational system. But holding fast to our core values of putting students first, attracting high-quality faculty, and remaining committed to the region have served us well and must remain integral to our future.
Well, as I said, I think the university was a product of human imagination. That's how we got to be what we are. Where we go from here is also going to require our imagination to think about what the needs will be for these graduates of ours who will be living and working and competing in this century and beyond. We'll be here long after that too. we can't stand still. Our challenge is to continuously make this place better, to hold on to those principles that are important to us. That is the value of students and the commitment to their future, but to do it in changing ways, even as the world around us is changing. So it's up to us. It's up to us, it's up to the people of this region as well, to imagine this place for the next 50 years.